The confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County over the last 24 hours is 8,786, with 37 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 88 additional cases were reported with no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Trutanich. Happy Lunar New Year. It's Tuesday, the first day of February. We're starting off with some good news today. Daily COVID-19 cases are dropping throughout LA County, hovering around 8,800 at last count. And businesses are overall complying with public health protocols to keep customers and employees safe. LA County public health officials conducted more than 1,400 site inspections between January 21st and the 27th. They found that more than 90% of bars, hotels, and restaurants were following proper mask and vaccination guidelines. Compliance dropped to 80% at gyms and to 74% at garment manufacturers. As the highly transmissible Omicron variant continues to spread through our region, public health officials remind employers that they are now required to provide employees who work indoors and in close proximity to others with well-fitting medical masks, surgical masks, or higher-level respirators such as N95 or KN95 masks. For a closer look on the recommended mask types, check out our video that aired on Weekends in Torrance. It's available now at youtube.com/Torrance Citi CABLE. Young children between the ages of 6 months and 5 years may get their COVID-19 vaccine sooner than expected. Pfizer and BioNTech applied for emergency authorization for its 2-dose vaccine while waiting for data on its 3-dose course. That means the U.S. Food and Drug Administration can approve it by the end of this month. Early Pfizer data has shown that the vaccine, which is administered to the younger kids at 1/10 the strength of the adult shot, is safe and produces an immune response. But Pfizer announced last year that the 2-dose shot proved to be less effective at preventing COVID-19 in kids ages 2 to 5, and regulators encouraged the company to add a 3rd dose to the study. The FDA hopes to approve the 2-dose version of the vaccine first, then return for additional authorization once it receives the data from the 3rd dose study, which will likely happen in March. The 2-step authorization process likely means that the young children could begin getting vaccinated more than a month earlier than previously anticipated. Americans are starting to receive their free COVID-19 test kits from the Biden administration. Many people received their packages as early as last Friday. Residential households in the U.S. can order a set of 4 test kits at special.usps.com/test kits. People with qualifying insurance plans can also pick up their tests for free, but they may need to pay up front at retail locations and get reimbursed later. At-home COVID-19 rapid test kits can be purchased at stores such as CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart. Customers can head to a pharmacy counter, present their health insurance card, and ask to bill their insurance. If they are charged for a test, they can keep the receipt and submit it to their health plan for reimbursement. Each health insurance company should provide instructions online. For example, Blue Shield members can submit a claim and mail along their receipt. Oscar members can get started at caremark.com. Kaiser members can submit a claim with an itemized receipt and the COVID-19 test QR or UPC code. Aetna members can also send a claim by logging on to their member website. And United Healthcare members will need to submit a reimbursement form, including a receipt online as well. Most companies should reimburse members either through direct deposit or a mailed check. Millions of COVID-19 tests have been stuck inside of a warehouse in Monterey Park due to massive supply chain issues. About 17 million of the tests, some earmarked by the California Department of Public Health, for child care centers, homes, homeless shelters, and schools, were sitting backlogged on giant pallets since last week. Some of the impacted tests are produced by iHealth. They were manufactured in China and purchased by at least 15 states. As of last Thursday, Exchange Logistics, the distribution company that handles the shipments, worked through the backlogs. then faced delays on 3 of the charter planes that carried roughly 25 million tests. The distribution company said despite the setbacks, they've continued to send out 20 truckloads of tests per day from an LA warehouse. Exchange Logistics said last week that their warehouses were struggling at up to 300% over capacity. Over the past month, up to 30% of the company's workforce has been out with COVID-19. The company says the Biden administration stepped up its efforts to help. iHealth contracted with the government to supply 250 million of the 1 billion tests the president promised to Americans. 5 suspects got caught after breaking into a train car in Torrance. It happened on January 30th at around 11:30 p.m. on the railroad tracks near 190th Street and Hawthorne Boulevard. Torrance police say officers responded to a suspicious circumstances call from someone who spotted several suspects breaking into a rail car. The caller watched the individuals carry boxes on scene. Police quickly detained 1 subject and 4 more after searching the area. During the investigation, officers located the train cars and say the locks were cut and forced open. Several cars had missing property, and officers recovered small generators still in boxes near where the suspects were detained. Police say all 5 suspects were arrested for burglary, receiving stolen property, and conspiracy. Rail car thefts have spiked in recent months, and police say this arrest serves as a great example of our department's partnership with its citizens. They encourage everyone to continue staying vigilant, and if you see something, say something. Mexico is now at the high-risk level for travel. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention elevated the warning level for this country this Monday, moving it to the very high risk level 4. Mexico was previously in the lower risk level 3 for more than 6 months, but experienced a record high number of new COVID-19 cases this month. The CDC places a destination at level 4 when there are more than 500 cases per 100,000 residents registered in the past 28 days. The National Public Health Agency advises travelers to avoid going to any level 4 country. 11 other destinations were added to that list on Monday, including Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, Paraguay, the Philippines, and Singapore. Almost 130 places are now in level 4. To check out the full list, just go to cdc.gov/travel. A port in Ventura County is helping to alleviate shipping backups at bigger ports, including those in LA and Long Beach. The Port of Hueneme, a military installation, began receiving FedEx shipments from China on Monday. Officials say the cargo will initially be staged on Navy property to avoid disruption to the critical existing services on site. Captain Robert Kimnock, the commander of the base, says this innovative thinking outside the box was something they had never done before. Monday's operations is the first of multiple chartered vessels scheduled to come to the port, with more planned over the next year. FedEx Logistics President and CEO Dr. Udu Lang says they created a solution that cuts transit times by more than 20 days. California Governor Gavin Newsom made a couple of big announcements this week regarding mental health awareness. He first announced a major mental health housing expansion worth about $1.1 billion. It's a part of the $14 billion homelessness package aimed at keeping the vulnerable population off the streets and in programs that can help them. Governor Newsom says they're doubling down on previous efforts, which provided housing and shelter to 58,000 Californians. The new funding is provided through Home Key in a couple of ways: $518.5 million for the Behavioral Health Continuum Infrastructure Program and $570 million for the Community Care Expansion Program. In a separate announcement, the governor named 15 members to his advisory council on physical fitness and mental well-being. The group is tasked with exploring strategies to promote health and wellness among Californians of all ages and will place a special emphasis on the youth. Governor Newsom says the pandemic has placed a spotlight on the importance of physical and mental health, and they're committed to elevating healthy dietary and fitness habits and mental well-being to help build a healthier, more resilient California for all. The advisory council is co-chaired by first partner Jennifer Siebel Newsome and Pro Football Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott. The group includes other top athletes such as Olympic gold medalist Christy Yamaguchi, as well as representatives from health and wellness organizations, youth sports programs, and the entertainment and fitness industry. In another move, Governor Newsom is working on transforming a part of San Quentin State Prison into a positive healing environment. He plans to dismantle the nation's largest death row by moving all condemned inmates to other prisons within 2 years. A Corrections Department spokesperson says they are starting the process of closing death row to repurpose the current housing units into something innovative and anchored in rehabilitation. Corrections officials began a voluntary 2-year pilot program in January 2020 that so far moved 116 of the state's 673 condemned male inmates to one of 7 other prisons that have maximum security facilities and are surrounded by lethal electrified fences. They intend to submit permanent proposed regulations in the coming weeks that would make the transfers mandatory and allow for the repurposing of all death row housing units. Governor Newsom's proposed budget for the fiscal year starting July 1st seeks $1.5 million to find new uses for the vacant condemned housing. The money would be used to hire a consultant to develop options for the space focused on creating a positive healing environment to provide increased rehabilitative, educational, and healthcare opportunities. California carried out its last execution in 2006 and is one of 28 states that maintain death rows. Governor Newsom placed a moratorium on executions 3 years ago, shutting down the state's execution chamber at San Quentin. Set your alarms for early tomorrow morning if you want to take advantage of a great breakfast deal. Norm's will offer its all-new 4 Deuces meal for just $2.22 from 7 to 9:22 a.m. for both dine-in and takeout. The early bird special comes with 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips, 2 sausages, and 2 pancakes. The Southern California chain of diner-style restaurants is kicking off 2022 with a new limited-time menu at all locations. Norm's has a couple of locations here, one each at North and South Torrance. Today marks the first day of Black History Month, and Del Amo Fashion Center wants shoppers to be a part of history in the making by supporting Black-owned businesses this weekend. On Saturday, February 5th, from noon to 7 p.m., the shopping center will host its Black History Month outdoor soiree, featuring more than 40 vendors selling clothes, jewelry, home decor, and more. It will take place at the outdoor grotto portion of the mall by Forever 21, Lazy Dog, and P.F. Chang's. The Torrance City Council will not meet tonight as it is a previously scheduled dark night. The next meeting will take place next Tuesday, February 8th. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Torrance-based business Sunrider International celebrated its 40th anniversary with a ribbon-cutting ceremony on this Lunar New Year's Day.
40! I'm just really grateful for the business that we've been able to build. It was my parents who started it 40 years ago, and it's just an honor to be able to take it over for them and to continue to expand. We've been in Torrance since 1986, which is a really long time. We've known people in the community for a very long time, so it's wonderful to be able to meet together in person again after a couple of years of not seeing each other. The Chinese New Year is really important for us because it's a time where we can gather as family and we can reflect upon the last year and kind of wash away anything that we feel that was negative or bad and start the new year off fresh.
The Torrance Chamber and many of city leaders joined the celebration as well, including Mayor Patrick Fury, City Manager Aram Shaparian, and a number of our City Council members. Sunrider International is a global health and wellness direct sales company. Since launching in 1982, the company has grown to include thousands of franchise stores and tens of thousands of international distributors. Sunrider's founder, Dr. Chen, says anniversaries are a time to celebrate, reflect, and look forward to the future. He adds that he is grateful to have had the opportunity to help millions of people live happier and more balanced lives over the past 4 decades. Congratulations on your major milestone and happy Lunar New Year again. Now, if you have a great story, an upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.